Welcome to the Praying with Victory podcast. I'm here with Hadassah Treu, and she is here to share her wonderful testimony of how the Lord has just done so many great, wonderful things in her life. And Hadassah, thank you for joining me for today's podcast. And
Thank you so much. Thank you.
yes, I'm so glad to have you here. And if you could just give us a little introduction of who you are and a bit of your background and where you come from. We're excited to get to know you.
Thanks so much for the invitation. It's such a joy and pleasure to be here with you. My name is Hadassah Treu. I'm a Bulgarian. I live in Bulgaria, Europe.
Wow.
I'm a widow and I'm also Christian award-winning author, blogger, speaker, poet, and translator.
Wow.
Yes, I've been writing since 2017 on my blog ontheway.bg.com.
Mhm.
I'm an author of 3 books, one in English and 2 poetry collections in Bulgarian, and I'm co-author of 13 more devotional and poetry anthologies. And yeah, I'm also a freelance writer, so I've been featured on a lot of popular podcasts and platforms like View from Home, Proverbs 31 Ministries,
Yeah.
Christian Days, Christian Living, Encourage, and many others. Um, the most important thing about me is my mission, my desire, and my passion to encourage the brokenhearted, the hurting, to draw near to God in the darkness of their pain and adversity so they can keep their faith, endure,
Mhm.
and grow. So, this is the most important thing for me.
Yes, wow. That's so powerful and so true. And yes, we all have moments of loss and grief, and I'm very sorry for the loss of your husband. And
Yes.
I understand my mom is also a widow. My
Mm.
father passed away when I was 15, and so
Oh,
I understand just the pain and disappointment of that loss. But even in the midst of those challenging situations, God continues to meet us right where we are. And so thank you
yes.
for sharing a little bit about your journey. And my question is, how did you get started with your blog and your ministry? You've been doing so many wonderful things and writing so many amazing works. How did you first get started?
I think it took perhaps a year or two of preparation, sitting with the Lord and accepting from Him, receiving from Him these visions and messages, these ideas, these dreams, and
Mm.
until everything clicked together and I was able to make this step of faith, because of course this is a step of faith.
Yes.
And yeah, it started with one blog post which was called about the losses and gains on the way.
Mm.
I wrote it in March 2017, published in May 2017. And interesting is that it made a full circle because exactly 7 years after that, my book Draw Near came out, and it
Wow.
is exactly about the losses and gains on the way,
Yes.
because this is the topic of my book. And when I wrote this blog post, it was quite theoretical, I would say, in nature.
Mm.
But I would never thought that the Lord will pass me through this, will get me through this real testing, that I will experience in my life all these possible losses, which I will
Mm.
then speak about and talk about in my book. Um, that everything that I'm writing and preaching is not just theory, but really something. And this is how I wrote actually my book, from the place of experiencing all this and from the place of testing my faith and believing in what actually the Lord is saying, believing and trusting in Him. So, but it's amazing how God works and how His timing works and how
Yes.
symbolically is everything when it comes to timing in the details. Everything is in the details, so to say.
Mhm.
And yeah, this is how I started. I started in Bulgarian and in English to write my blog. But then 2 years after writing in Bulgarian English, I felt that the Lord was nudging me to move more into English, perhaps reaching more people this way,
Yes.
I guess. And yeah, now I'm writing mainly in English, although I'm writing poetry in Bulgarian. So,
Wow.
yes, this is my poetry language. And yeah, so this is how everything started.
That's awesome. And I love that you also write poetry because I immediately think of the book of Psalms and how
Mm-hmm.
that's just full of beautiful imagery and poetry to the Lord and prayers really to the
Yes,
Lord and
yes,
just a powerful way that we can communicate through poetry.
absolutely. Yes.
That's so powerful. And since this summit is on prayer, it's the Prayer
Mm-hmm.
Victory Prayer Summit. How have you discovered the power of prayer in your personal spiritual journey?
The interesting thing is that I discovered the power of prayer even before I knew the Lord and I
Wow.
came to the Lord,
Mm,
because this was through prayer that I came to the Lord. I mean, I didn't know Him, but I placed kind of an ultimatum to the universe. And perhaps for half a year, I was praying that if there is God, He
mm,
should show Himself to me. I was a teenager then.
wow.
Yeah, I was struggling with depression and suicidal thoughts and stuff like this. But this was the first prayer answered
Mm,
miraculously. So,
mm.
so I really came to the Lord, or let's say He found me.
Yes.
And then, as a believer, I continued on this journey, discovering more and more about what prayer is and what prayer means and the power of prayer. I remember also in my 30s, following a period of disconnect and moving away from the Lord, that I was again trying to return to Him, and prayer and fast. And
Mm,
fasting was actually instrumental to into this journey. And of course, prayer is for me absolutely essential in all my struggles and challenges and adversities. I can't imagine how I would survive or overcome or really come forward in my life and in my journey with the Lord if there was
mhm,
no prayer. Because
mhm.
this is the channel through which I'm not, I'm also, this is the channel through which I'm giving and emptying myself, but also the channel through which I'm receiving from Him. So this is, let's say,
Yes.
our
Yes.
exchange channel, our communication to
Yes.
our um, it's actually more than communication. It's our connection through which we are abiding in the Lord.
Mm,
We abide in the Word, through the Word, but we
yes.
also abide in prayer. And that's why I'm saying, and I gave the example that the Lord heard my prayers even when I didn't know Him, because
Yes.
I think prayer is much more than words. It's more than words. They
Mm,
are wordless prayers. There are prayers
yes.
just in tears. There are prayers with this soul cry, which we even can figure out and express in words or in emotions. But the
Yes.
Lord knows everything. He hears
Yes.
everything. He sees everything. He knows the human heart. And I think prayer is the cry of the soul, the language through
Yes.
which we
Wow.
connect with Him. It's more than words. It's more than emotion.
Mm,
Um,
true. Wow.
it's our life, let's say like this. It's our life.
Absolutely. Our lifeline, which is why
Yes,
it says in the word, we pray without ceasing. Do we live and breathe and have our being
exactly. Exactly.
through prayer, through that channel, like you said. And it's so true how you say it's
Mhm.
not just the words, because like you said, people can share
Yes.
empty words that mean nothing, but
Hmm.
it's that relationship, that
Yes.
deep abiding relationship that we have where we are pouring out and crying out to Him, whether it's with words or through tears or in just our own inner thoughts. And then when we
Yes.
can sit and listen and receive, that's what
Yes.
I heard you
Yes.
say as well. And
Yes.
so it's
Yes.
definitely a
Yes.
two-way street and so
Two way.
essential to how we live.
Yes.
That's so cool. I love that. So what advice would you give to someone who maybe they're just beginning their journey? I love how you shared how you were even praying before you knew God himself,
Mhm.
how he answered you. Like he is looking for those who are seeking him. And it sounded like
Yes.
you were on a journey, a journey to find him, and he finds us.
Yes, he
He,
finds us.
he finds us.
Yes.
So if there's someone who is also on that journey, or they're desiring to go deeper in their walk with the Lord, in their prayer journey, what advice would you give to someone who maybe is starting that journey?
Yes. The advice would be to embrace prayer and not to complicate it, not to make it
Mm.
something complicated, but really to come to the Lord as they are, and learn to talk as we talk with a dear friend, or as we talk to the Father, or uh, to somebody we love and we know loves us.
Yes.
Um, so really not to complicate it, but also not to pretend, not to hide, not, as you said, to say words that are meaningless just for
Mm.
the sake of prayer.
Hmm.
Uh, Even if we say one sentence, even if we say one word, we
Yes.
should mean it. And these are really the prayers the Lord is hearing, the words that we are meaning.
Yes.
And no, it's a journey, and the
Yes.
Lord will take us step by step. And the next would be to really to ask Him to help us in our
Hmm.
prayer life, to support us. The Holy Spirit is there to guide us, to support us in our prayer life when we don't know what to say, when we don't know how, and when we don't want to pray. Then it's
Mm.
really essential to
Yeah.
ask Him to help us
Oh, yes.
to connect with the Father.
Yes. Oh, that's so good.
Yes.
So, what are you hoping to see happen during the Praying with Victory Summit? We're going to be talking and sharing during the summit about a myriad of different topics, whether that's
Mm-hmm,
relationships,
mm-hmm.
marriage, parenting, emotional healing.
Yes.
There are many different topics related to prayer that we're going to be talking about for the Praying with Victory Summit. And I'm so excited that
Mm-hmm.
you get to be one of the speakers sharing more
Yes.
of your wisdom and insight. And so, what do you hope that people who are listening would take away from the summit?
My hopes are that people get excited and ignited for the prayer life, for closer connection with the Lord.
Mhm.
And also, I would hope that people understand or get a deep understanding that prayer is indispensable and inseparable from spiritual growth. So, if we
Yes.
want to grow, if we want to see victory, if we want to
Mm.
thrive, then we need to incorporate prayer in all areas of our life. Incorporate prayer means we need to invite God. We need to invite His power. We need
Yes.
to invite His life. This is what it's
Absolutely.
all about.
Absolutely. Wow. Well, I'm so excited for what you're going to share, and that
Yes,
everyone who will be joining the summit will be able to take away so much, because like you said,
yes,
we need to invite the Lord into every area of our lives. And so
absolutely.
So I'm so excited for what you're going to share, and thank you for what you have shared today, Hadassah. It's been truly an encouragement, and I look forward to hearing more about what you're going to share. So thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, and look forward to hearing more about what you're going to share.
Thank you.